Welcome, everybody, to another Warp World episode of World 1-1 Podcast. I am your host, as always, Larry the Bearded Wonder. Joining me is my partner in crime, the world's first Blackstronaut, Eddie V.
Blackstronaut. That's not my new nickname. I don't know what it is. Hi, everybody.
So, this is a thing we haven't done in a while, but it's a thing that we do periodically when a solid burst of news comes around. Sadly, we didn't have a chance to do this for the January mini direct happened because I was dying of the plague, but I'm mostly better. So we got a nice solid direct to bring this back on. Hit all of our eyeballs yesterday, and we got about 30 plus minutes of mostly good stuff. So Eddie's going to run us through the talking points, and we're going to kind of break it all down for you.
All right. So they started off with 3DS, and they started off with WarioWare Gold. This game will have 300 mini games, some new, some returning. The gameplay going to involve you pressing buttons, moving the directional pad. You can tilt the system, touch the screen, and also blow on the microphone. So you got to know which one to use for the correct mini game that is at hand. This game will be available August 3rd. It looks really cool. I like the art style that they have for it. They keep showing that little lady walking, then she trip over the rock. I'm just like, why can't it be another rock where she just like busts her head and like fall off the screen? But it looks nice.
You know, I've never been big, like I've played some of it and I've enjoyed some of it, but I've never been big on the WarioWare series. Mm-hmm. And I was kind of wondering when it was going to come back around again. I'm surprised that we didn't get a 3DS WarioWare until now, finally. That's usually something that tends to come out early in a console life cycle, not the other way around. And that's been very strange. That's one of those things that's just, it's not necessarily a big deal, but it's a curious absence.
I wonder if they had just like been building the game, like what mini games and trying to be creative that they're going to put in there.
Maybe, but I mean, 7 years?
Yeah.
You think back to the DS, and that was near launch.
Yeah, I think that one.
Even the Wii U, it was pretty early. Same thing with the Wii.
I think it was that with those was trying to show off the system. I think with this one, they probably been working on it and probably just like this is like a filler game in a sense. Like, throw it out so people can have something to play while they work on like a big major project. It's still important to the 3DS though, and the WarioWare Assist games do sell well enough that people do enjoy them.
Does bring a question too. Then do we see a WarioWare sometime within the next year or two for Switch, or is it something that misses the Switch altogether, or is it going to be like Gold and it's going to be super late in the console life cycle?
I say probably 2021 for Switch. If it doesn't get port from 3DS to this one, I probably don't see, or if that doesn't happen, I don't see it coming to Switch because it sells well on that handhelds than it does on console.
Granted, but it hasn't stopped them from bringing it out on console all the same.
Well, people enjoy it. It's very comedic. It's just something fun to play. What they could do with the Switch version, they could do a lot with it with the Joy-Cons. Some with a lot of ideas with it. I mean, I could see it coming to Switch later on. I think that's why I'm gonna stick with 2021. I think that's a good game, good time for it to be out.
That's the part that makes me wonder, though, is that did they maybe burn out that concept for Switch with 1-2 Switch that did not do well?
I don't think so. I think 1-2 Switch was
because 1-2 Switch felt like
a tech demo.
Which a lot of times is what WarioWare is, but WarioWare dresses it up as a game, whereas 1-2 Switch did that far less.
Yeah, I think 1-2 Switch was just trying to show a lot of people, casual people, who really don't know what the Switch is about, to give them an idea of these are the things that you can do. So it's something to sell them on the promise of what you can look forward to when you're getting a game. I think WarioWare has established itself with past games, So with a lot of casual people not knowing even who Wario is, or played any of his games, those who are familiar of it would know that, oh, it's another game with some new stuff. I have fun with these in the past, so I'll pick it up and stuff.
So,
Yeah.
and what else we got on the list?
Dylan's Dead Heat Breakers. Dylan could team up with your me, and your me will be transferred to animal. Four of your me, three of your other me friends could join up with you guys, and you can become gunners. The demo for this game will be available May 10th, and the game will be available for May 24th. It has some Sonic R / Sonic of not Sonic Adventure, but some of the Sonic 3D games. Like with that part that he was like on the road running and he was jumping up and doing attacks, like it looked like a homing beam attack. It's a mix of racing, I guess, and tower defense at times. It looked really fun, very interesting though. It's not I don't think it's a sequel to the main game, but it's nice to
still
see.
part of the series, and it's
Yeah,
they're definitely I've noticed whenever they do something with Dylan at this point, every time it's a bigger and bigger push for them. Like they're really trying to build him up into a mainstay. It feels
yeah.
like
His art design for a character is really cool, and I heard a lot of people who did play the first one, they really did enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. So it's like I said, every time it crops up, they seem to be getting louder and louder about it. So I mean, yay for trying to add somebody new to the stable to make more recognizable. That's never a bad thing.
Yeah. I think people nowadays are more accepting of a lot of new Nintendo IPs, and some of the niche ones that didn't get a lot of recognition. A lot of people are willing to give it a try compared to back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, over the last 2 console generations at this point, there's been a feels like a renewed push for new IP.
Yes.
Wii U saw probably the biggest one and the biggest success in that push was Splatoon, which we'll obviously get into in a little bit here. But and then seeing them push ARMS fairly heavily to a moderate success with Switch has been nice. And then Dylan almost feels like almost like they're trying to make Dylan the new handheld 3DS mascot.
I could see that. I really could see that. I mean, if you kind of think of 3DS as a mascot, like you might think of course you'll think of Mario, but like Shovel Knight or really pretty much SteamWorld Dig. That game really. I mean, Box Boy also did push the 3DS, and like Fire Emblem even got their chance and stuff. But when you think of out the box game and it works, and it makes you think of the 3DS, SteamWorld Dig has done that.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of indie mascots that have seen a lot of success on 3DS, and I don't know if I could pinpoint Nintendo leaning on any one as pushing as the mascot for 3DS, but I do almost feel like their efforts lean towards Dylan just because it's their own in-house.
Yes.
So,
because if it wasn't Dylan, it would probably be Kirby. Because there's more Kirby games on the 3DS.
Oh my god, so much Kirby.
Yeah.
So, but there will be more on Kirby in a few minutes here too. So,
yes.
What else do we have? I know there's a fairly big one for 3DS looming here.
Yes, this big one though is for me. Probably me alone. Mario and Luigi's Bowser Inside Story and Bowser Jr.'s Journey. They didn't give no details of it, but it will be available of 2019. This is my second game of a must-have for 2019. There's a game called Viscera. It's a shoot 'em up, bullet hell shmup from Japan. Part 1 and 2 is going to be on a cartridge. It's coming to Switch. and it looks amazing. It looks so good. I heard this music from the band that I've never heard of, and people on Twitter just like was giving me mass support. They were just like, "Yeah, go listen to them because they're really good." Soundtrack is really awesome. You guys can check it on YouTube of Vasera, Vasara for Nintendo Switch. But Mario Luigi's Bowser Inside Story is such a, to me, like almost a perfect 10 because the game is hilarious, well written. Love the combat in this, and I actually wanted one section of this game to be its own game. There's like a shoot 'em up part in it in Bowser where Mario Luigi is in Bowser body, and they're like busting up blood cells and stuff like that. It's really cool. And I was just like, Nintendo, make this a game because I will play it all day long. But yeah, that's coming to 3DS next year.
Yeah, I mean, they gave a little bit of detail, just that they're adding some new content centered around Bowser Jr. But I think the big thing to take away here, honestly, though, is more than anything, looking at the fact that 2019, one, that's a really early, a release announcement for
Mm-hmm.
a port, and two, the basically the notification that yeah, 3DS isn't dying anytime soon, so you may as well quit whining about it.
Right. And I think, because I think this is, we might talk about this Sunday, or we might revisit this, but I was kind of not concerned or confused. I was kind of weirded out in a way that not enough 3DS games was on it. And I'm just like, well, it is 30 minutes, and it felt like they spent maybe 5 or 7 minutes for this, and then 23 for the Switch, and I'm like, that's weird. But
I mean, I'm okay with that. I'm perfectly happy with that fact myself.
you know what? I think I feel like they should have gave us at least 2 more games for it. Because if you look at this, I didn't really get no kind of indie games for 3DS. You know?
Right, and that doesn't surprise me, honestly. I think for the most part, uh, the time of indie on 3DS is gone. I think Chicken Wiggle was the indicator for that, really. Here's a
Mm-hmm.
game that's a great little indie game, but just did not do well because they put it out on 3DS rather than on the Switch, where all the indie love has migrated to, and where everybody wants to play all their indie stuff now.
That is true. That is true.
So
I can see that.
I think that's not unreasonable at this point. That's more than a little understandable, to be completely honest.
And they probably was also focusing on games that's coming besides Mario Luigi. Probably focusing on games that's coming out this year, for the
Hmm.
summer. Because I think I think one game up to August, I would say that's what they was trying to get. So doing a little bit of spring and summer that they was trying to cover. Because
Yeah.
that's why I was just wondering, like maybe 1 or 2 indie games, or even a virtual console game for 3DS, like something different could have been announced for it. But I'm fine with it. So
Yeah, I mean, like I said, my indie compulsion is on the Switch. I am quite happy with it as a delightful little indie machine, and I want that to continue. I'm I'm still perfectly okay with playing some stuff on my 3DS,
hmm
but I like my indie stuff on my Switch. It has that. It, there's something intangible about it that gives it just that right feel, I think.
it, that bigger screen and just the controls and taking it everywhere where you want to go to like really
Hmm.
dive in. Yeah, it's really fitting on Switch. I think right now with 3DS or in 2DS is that games that's coming out. Some of them are must have. Some of them that might be missed, but if you feel like going back to them, you could go back to it. It's like it's become almost like a backlog system in a way,
Yeah.
you know. So, but moving on, Detective Pikachu. They as kind of talked a little bit about the game, this plot. It will have voice acting. I don't know who the voice actor for Pikachu is, but it was cute.
It should have been Danny DeVito.
Everybody keeps saying that.
It
Um,
fucking should have been.
it seems that something is going wrong with the Pokemon, so Pikachu and his friend Tim must solve the mystery. It is available for pre-purchase now on the eShop. The game will be available on March 23rd, along with the Detective Pikachu amiibo. The
Like a
detective,
giant, oversized Pikachu amiibo.
yes, it's 5.3 inches over, I think, a 2.8 inches of the regular Pikachu. It looks really cute, really fun. I'm into detective games. The little bit that they showed seemed really funny, and I cannot wait to jump into this game.
Yeah, I about died laughing when he did his quote unquote quick attack. Did I do it?
Can I say
How
now?
is Danny DeVito not involved in this?
Can I say now? Can I get a Hotel Dusk 213 remake, a re-release? I need that. Now, if we're getting inside Bowser's inside story, Hotel Dusk needs to be on the system. I'm sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you know what was better than Hotel Dusk, but still inside of that same family, sort of, was Trace Memory.
Oh yes, I think that needs to come back.
That's where the action was at. Was motherfucking Trace Memory, dude.
You know what? I would be cool of doing a 1999 eShop only release, digital. Because I think people will still forget if they do physical. That's just me. But yeah, Trace Memory is really good.
That game had some of the most fucking clever use of hardware ever.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. But we are diverting. So
we'll say that for Sunday.
Yeah.
So last but not least for the 3DS, Luigi's Mansion. This is a 3DS remake of the GameCube game. The mansion, there's going to be a map on the bottom of the mansion on the bottom screen. It's going to have a boss rush mode, and it will be available this year. I'm assuming, and this would be great marketing, and everybody probably already know what I'm about to say, but actually, I think October would be a great game for this to be released for Halloween.
It would.
I mean, it's just fitting. Like, the marketing is there.
No, I don't disagree. It's not. It wouldn't be a bad fit at all.
Yeah.
So, Luigi's Mansion is one that never quite grabbed me, though. It's not that it's bad. It's just that it didn't strike that chord with me personally.
Mm-hmm. I've never got a chance to play it on GameCube, so
I mean, I find it cool that it's happening and that it's coming to 3DS. Again, it's kind of like that affirmation of, no, the 3DS isn't going anywhere, so shut up and stop asking.
Yeah. So. But that was all for the 3DS. We're going to move on to the Nintendo Switch. We're going to start off with Kirby Star Allies. In this game now, you'll be able to obtain Dream Friends. Friends like King Dedede.
Versus real friends.
Yeah. King Dedede, Meta Knight, Bandana, Waddle Dee. More Dream Friends will be released after launch for free. So the first one is going to be Rick, Kai, and Ku from Kirby's Dream Land 2 on Game Boy. Next is going to be Marks from Kirby's Superstar from the Super Nintendo. Last but not least, Gooey from Kirby's Dream Land 3 on Super Nintendo. It is available March 16th. That's next Friday, everybody. But the demo is available now. It's for free. You guys can check it out. And the free update will be going live on March 28th. I still have to download the demo. I'm sorry, everybody playing multiple games at the time. But I'm really buying this game. Like, I'm going to the store to buy this. And it looks really fun, really cute.
What vexes me is that I really think that they overestimate the recognizability of the assorted side characters from Kirby, aside from Meta Knight and DDD.
Uh huh.
I mean, maybe the what is it, the Whisper Tree or whatever the hell it is. That's kind of recognizable because he's been in like every Kirby game ever. But aside from that, you know, the Waddle Dees and all the other various baddies are really nondescript.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's they're sitting there throwing out name drops like we're all gonna ooh and ah, and I'm just kind of looking at it going, meh.
Yeah. Well, if you're into the Kirby series, you would probably be happy for this. This is a good sale for a lot of
But
kids.
who is that into Kirby?
A lot of kids are. Maybe this.
Who's that into Kirby?
A lot of kids are. A lot of kids are still asking for a son from the Wii and Wii U days, and
Like, I like Kirby. I do.
I think this will push more Switches. Hopefully, it does, because Kirby is that strong of a title to push systems. But we shall see. We literally shall see.
Like, Kirby makes me happy, but remember, we're also talking about the Pink Harbinger of Death.
Well, it sucks, but like literally sucks. But
says the person who loves things that pop in their mouth.
We're gonna move on to the next game. I'm gonna talk to you after the show.
I'm just saying, you owned it, not me.
Okami HD. I can't stand you. Okami HD has been announced for Nintendo Switch. You will be able to do multiple gameplay mechanics like touchscreen controls and handheld mode, and you can use the Joy-Con for the brush technique when you're docked. This game is only going to be on the eShop and it's coming this summer. If they do decide to do a physical, I think it's going to be later on. A lot of people are wondering why it didn't get a physical, and I think the problem is that the physical for one and PS4 is really hard to find. Like, I haven't seen it at other Toys R Us's, other Best Buys, or even Targets. Maybe Costco may have it. It's very weird. Even my local GameStops don't even have it, and it was just like, you're supposed to carry this game. So $19.99 I think will be the price for it. But yeah, Okami HD is definitely a must-have for me.
I was super, super excited about this until they said on eShop, and then I just raged. For like a solid 2 minutes, I just raged.
Yeah, I don't know why Capcom made that decision. Because this Okami HD box art, like if you look at the Xbox One version.
Oh, I know. It's all gorgeous. And I want it.
Yes.
But like, never mind the fact that, the artwork is amazing and I want it. But again, seriously, hard copies, people. Want it on my shelf.
Everybody
in my
don't
collection.
Dude, I
want to lick the cartridge.
I don't think people care about the Nintendo text or whatever. They will pay it if they give a physical.
Oh, we care, but we'll still pay it.
I mean,
there's a difference.
I mean, you would care. Well, yeah, but I think we have got accustomed to it, and we would still buy the physical copy, which is like, well, whatever. As long as we could get this game as a physical copy, because I would pay $29.99 for this game, or $39.99. Like, I would pay.
Yeah. I'll drop $30 for a hard copy happily.
Dude, make this physical. Give me a map or a poster of this art, of the box art. That's it, and a downloadable code for a soundtrack.
Yeah. Like, what would be really nice is that if there was like a beautiful like rice paper, game poster
to
match that aesthetic. Rice paper, watercolor, yeah.
Yes.
Make that happen. Come on now. Like, why can't I have that?
Capcom is missing out. Capcom is missing out on some good money on Switch.
Even the guys that did Rhyme said, "Yeah, we know it's more expensive, but we'll do this to try and help make up for the fact," and threw in the soundtrack, which for Rhyme was a big selling point, even if I do think that it had some lackluster moments where it wasn't as prominent as they purported it to be. But that's just my personal issue, and I recognize that.
Yeah. So we're gonna move on to Sushi Striker: The Way of Shushido.
For God, just give me an Okami soundtrack.
Oh, dude,
That
yes.
music's so good.
Oh, that
It's so good.
It's so relaxing, and
everything about it is awesome.
Yeah, but it's one of those games. The soundtrack is so strong that you just want to put it in. You really can't play it in your car because it's so relaxing. You might fall asleep and crash, but it's just something to like really vibe out to. But that's me.
Yeah. So, but yeah,
okay.
I was almost super hyped
Larry,
about that.
I'm sorry. I now want that rice paper artwork.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Or even like just a nice, pretty, full color rice paper map of the world.
Yeah, I would take it.
No, give me the rice paper poster, and I want a cloth map.
Ooh.
And it should come with chopsticks.
Okay, that's
like a little sake serving set.
That's going to. That's the
dude. I'd pay $60 for that special edition.
Seriously. That's what I was about to say. I'm like, that's the collector's edition right there.
I want some pretty painted porcelain chopsticks, and
what they would do a brush. Ooh, what if that would be cool? What if the brush was designed as chopsticks with the little brush part at the end of it, like at the top?
I could see that. Or, give me a cool little, paintbrush.
And then, like, if you want to eat, if you want to, like, draw, you could switch it over, dip it in something, and use it as the brush for the game. I think that would be cool. A 2-in-1. I would pay $60 for that. Yeah.
So, I mean, I would totally be down for an amazing special edition of Okami.
We got to move on.
Because Okami never really got a real proper special edition on anywhere.
Yeah, we got to move on because this needs to be saved for Sunday.
Oh, God.
Because I'm going to I'll be like, now I want this. Like, I will literally pre-order this right now if it was available.
But we do have something else exciting coming with a special edition, though.
Yes, we will get to that. But Sushi Striker: The Way of Shushido, it was coming for 3DS. Now it's coming to 3DS and Nintendo Switch. This was a game that they showed at E3 last year. For Switch, they will have multiplayer. And it's releasing June 8th for both systems. The last time they showed this was at E3. One of their new IPs.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering what the hell happened to that.
Yeah, I think
like that just dropped totally off the map.
I think what happened is that a lot of good responses they got and people were really interested, and I think Nintendo just decided like, you know what, let's add it to Switch. So let's make 2 ways of profit for this. And I'm thinking because of another announcement that we'll get at the end of the show, I'm thinking that they're adding connectivity for Switch and 3DS. Where
I would really appreciate that, considering they want to keep dragging the 3DS out, which I don't inherently have an issue with.
Mm-hmm.
You know that the main focus for them is on Switch. It's just, every once in a while they drop a little nugget of love on 3DS to keep it going,
yes.
Which is fine. I mean, as a business, there's nothing wrong with that. That's perfectly smart business-wise. And so, but yeah, I'm sitting here wondering, where the hell's my connectivity? We had connectivity between the Game Boy Advance and the GameCube, and then we had a little bit between the DS and the Wii, and we had some from the 3DS to the Wii U. I don't see a reason why we can't get this between the 3DS and the Switch.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. But I'm assuming it's coming. We'll see. Maybe it'll be an update and they'll allow that functionality.
I know what you're thinking, by the way, and I think your thinking is half right, just so that you're aware.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned that. So, moving on, Octopath Traveler. It was known as Project Octopath Traveler, but this now is the official name, Octopath Traveler. They introduced two characters, Teresa, who is a merchant, and Alphen, who's an apothecary. Teresa, her being a merchant, she'd be able to obtain items that you normally can't obtain out the town.
She gets to order off the secret menu at McDonald's.
Pretty much, yeah. And Alphen, he uses Inquire, so he'll be able to get more information and unlock more details about a town and stuff. So they introduced those two characters. They also announced that you can equip another job for a battle. So the job that you start off with can also have another one, and they kind of showed it in the Nintendo Direct. Like you could be a merchant and also a warrior, or a merchant and a dancer, and switch it up that way. So yeah, it's really nice. This game will be available on July 13th. And there's also going to be available for a special edition. It's going to have a pop-up book, a soundtrack, a coin that similar to the in-game currency, and it's coming with a map.
Dude, that pop-up book looks so fucking cool.
Yes, it does.
Oh my god, it looks awesome.
Yeah, I kind of want to go to GameStop and see if they got it for pre-sale. I don't know if they have it just yet for that special collection, because I want to buy that collector's edition. So, but yes, and everybody, in case if you haven't tried Octopath Traveler, the demo is still available for free that you guys could try. Really fun. Looking forward to it. Hopefully what I did in the demo transfers to the main game, but we'll see.
Right, because I mean that demo was fairly meaty.
Yeah, shoot. Like after you done what you were supposed to do, you can still play it and kind of grind in a way.
Yeah.
So, but moving on, Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes, as one of their indie titles that's coming to the Switch. This one will have 7 different mini games inside of it. It will offer co-op multiplayer. They're also adding like a adventure game style to it, and it will be available this year. I looked at it and I'm just like, this is like a top-down kind of beat 'em up, and I'm here for it. I like that.
Right.
Moving on. Don't know if you had thoughts of it.
Not really.
Okay, then I will move on.
There's some key ones that really grabbed my attention, and there's some that I just kind of went, eh.
Cool. Okay. Well, Dark Souls Remastered. They're going to provide a network testing, which is coming soon. So you guys watch Nintendo. You can check out their website or other video game video game news sites, and see when that information will be released. They did show Solaire of Astero amiibo, and
they made a meme into an amiibo.
Yes, you want to know, but you want to know what doesn't remind you of the Holy Grail, Mighty Python and the Holy Grail.
Mighty Python and the Holy Grail, yeah, the Black Knight a little bit.
Yeah, so
yeah,
and so and just a reminder, this game will be available on May 25th.
Yeah, It's one of those things that I've always kind of looked at, and I haven't had a real big interest. But I've even got a copy of Dark Souls on my 360 that I got from Games with Gold at one point.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't even touched, but I'm probably going to take a crack at the demo and see if it actually grabs me more than I thought it would. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Just to let everybody know that the Soul of Asteria was a GameStop exclusive. I just found that out at the time of this recording.
Yeah, that was not mentioned either, by the way.
And it's sold out, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus, that was quick.
So
that's a little disappointing.
Well, it's GameStop, so wait, let's see how many people complain about not getting theirs.
Right.
So, But the next, moving on, Mario Tennis Aces. They poured out a lot of information for it. So
with all while managing to say next to nothing about the story mode, which is what everybody's actually interested in.
pretty much. You will be having 15 playable characters. They are Luigi, Mario, Wario, Waluigi, Peach, Daisy, Yoshi, Rosalina, Donkey Kong, Toad, Bowser, Toadette, Bowser Jr., Chain Chomp, and Boo. You're going to have a 4-player local connection and online play for it. There's going to be many forms of the basic shop, which is top spin, slice, and lob. They introduced zone shop. That's where you can pinpoint any shop with motion control. Now, I will say if you are blocking it, you will take damage if you don't time it right for the zone shop. 3 hits will break your racket and you'll forfeit. But you also have a way to slow it down. With zone speed, it kind of slows it down so you can react to the shot in time. Now, you can build everything up with your energy gauge. It's the circle that's in the game by your character's name. And as long as you guys are volleying back and forth, or rallying, as they say, back and forth, your energy will go up. If you want a big boost in it, though, you have to perform a trick shot. And when you perform this trick shot, your energy will build up quicker. Sorry about that. After your energy gauge is full, you can initiate your special shot. And if they block, sometimes if they block it, it will come back. Other times, if they block it, it will destroy it and automatically forfeit the other person. But you also could play this game in simple rules where everybody just use basic shots. You could use your Joy-Con to do the slice, the top spin, the backswing, and the lob. It will have a story mode, like we mentioned, and this game will be available on June 22nd. And news of a pre-launch tournament will be coming soon. So you guys, once again, check Nintendo's website and other video game industry blogs for more info when the time comes to release that information.
Right on. Yeah, every time I see a Mario Sport thing, I just go, I really want a new Mario Strikers, and I want a dedicated Mario Dodgeball game that's styled after Strikers as well. Like, I want that spiky, dirty, gritty metal thing for Dodgeball with, God, it'd be so good.
I would not be ready for that game.
Oh my God, it would. I want it so much. I want it so much. You know, and I know that they had like Mario Dodgeball looped in with, what is it, the Mario Sports Mix or whatever the hell it was, which didn't do all that well, as I recall. But, and most of the Mario Sports stuff never did much of anything for me, to be completely honest. You know, Strikers was really the standout for me. I've got a lot of fond memories playing Strikers on the Wii. I'll share with you. I don't know if I've ever told you this story, but this is me being a horrible, dirty, rotten, cheating bastard. I was playing with a friend and coworker online when Strikers came out on the Wii, and you know, we were not in the same room together as we were playing, and I kicked off one of the special charge shots that, you know, he had to like hit all the targets in order to try and block the shot. And just as I did it, I called his house phone, so he got up to pick up the fucking phone and missed everything. Greatest troll move ever. Wow. Even he was like, "You piece of shit." That was fucking brilliant.
Wow, that was dirty, but that's amazing. That was the smartest idea.
So, but I mean, God, we got into it, and it was so much fun. But just that was the only Mario sports game that ever grabbed me, and I'm looking at tennis, going, still not what I want.
Yeah, people are claiming for a striker. So
yeah, no, we haven't. there wasn't much Mario Sports on the Wii U really in general though.
Yeah, I think it was just the Mario Tennis one from.
Yeah, and that didn't do all that great either.
It actually did. Oh, it actually did okay. It didn't blow up the charts.
Yeah,
It was a hot Christmas item. Because it's sold like
it was
crazy.
like the only thing.
Well, I mean, a little bit, but due to internet, a lot of people was doing a lot of internet orders for it. So when people came in the store looking for it, they couldn't find it. But it sold well. So, moving on, Cat the Toad Treasure Tracker is coming to the Nintendo Switch and to the 3DS. This game will contain now new Super Mario Odyssey levels. It will also have co-op play. And the game is coming out July 13th. This is definitely a must-have. I'm assuming it's going to be $40, hopefully. If not, I'm probably going to go with a $50.
Oh, I bloody hope so.
Yeah.
Like that came out originally at $40. There is no reason for that to be anything more than $40.
I think 3DS. I think Switch should keep it at 40, and 3DS to do 30. Two different price points. Because if you do it at the same, is a lot of people gonna be like, well, why do I need the 3DS one? Well, I could just buy the Switch. I'm buying it for both systems.
I don't know why, but
because I love I want my 3DS library to grow with a lot of good Nintendo games, and that's definitely a good one. And I also like my Switch to grow, also. Not always. I don't always carry my Switch with me.
Yeah. See, I'm looking at my 3DS library, and I'm looking at my DS library, and my 3DS library is like half the size, but it doesn't feel insufficient to me. It really doesn't. It's just, it doesn't bug me. I will say I think there was something about the fact that the 3DS was very new or the original DS was very new and experimental at the time, whereas the 3DS was not as much so. And there was a lot of really unique stuff happening on the original DS that I was clamoring to pick up. Like, I mean, I'm looking at stuff like just off the top of my head that I can see on my shelf from here, like Lost in Blue and Trace Memory were great examples of that.
Yes.
You know, those were great experimental things. Even to a lesser degree, Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow, I think, almost fits into that category.
Yeah.
The way they rolled in some of the touchscreen features with the gameplay. And, you know, it hasn't felt like there's been that much kind of experimentation with the 3DS. You know, there was maybe a couple of things that I jumped on probably earlier than I should have, just because I wanted to see it in 3D. Like, I still honestly kind of get excited playing Ridge Racer on 3DS.
Which
Shut up! I do.
I just don't recognize. Didn't realize that it came to that system. Like, I don't.
Yeah, like Ridge Racer on 3DS was either launch or it was near launch.
Okay.
I remember that.
Because I don't.
But so was Ridge Racer on DS, which, oh my god. If you've not, it sounds horribly tacky, but if you've not played Ridge Racer on the original DS, that's honestly like my favorite iteration of that series.
I'm gonna have to look for a copy.
It's something about the drift mechanics. They feel super fucking floaty, but just floaty enough for me to be perfect at it.
Is it with the R? Is it with the R button?
I think so. Like, I can tell you, dude, I've like drifted almost entire races like backwards just for fun.
Oh, wow.
Because I can. It was awesome. I would literally sit there and spin, like, drifting my car while going in circles around another car.
That's amazing.
It's just that perfectly ridiculous.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm going to get through these 3 games real quick.
Raises the question, when the hell do we get Ridge Racer on Switch? Can I have that now?
There's rumors of it.
Like, we're a year in, and I've got no talk of Ridge Racer on Switch.
There was rumors of it, but I don't know.
I mean, granted, I've got 2 really great racing games on Switch. Well, I've got 1 3/4 of a great racing game on Switch.
Well, what's the 3/4?
Mario Kart 8.
Oh.
I have a hard time calling that dedicated racing.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun, and it's competitive, and it's, vehicles that go round and round on a track, but it falls just short of hitting that pure racing experience for me, or that pure adrenaline rush. That's
He.
a real racing game to me. I am perfectly happy to sit down and play just by myself.
Mm-hmm.
Mario Kart is really at its peak when you're playing with other people.
Other people. And fast racing. Is it
Fast RMX?
Yeah, Fast RMX. I keep want to call it Fast Racing because I thought that was the name of the series.
Well, there was Fast Racing Neo that was on the Wii U, and then Fast RMX is shorthand for Remix because it's got all the content of Fast Racing Neo plus more. Because there was a expansion that came out on Wii U. Like, there were certain territories that got like a hard copy of Fast Racing Neo on Wii U that had additional content, like extra tracks and stuff, that we didn't get in the States until Fast RMX.
Okay.
Plus, Fast RMX is all prettied up.
Which
is really hard to do because even on the Wii U, it looked really fucking good.
Yes, and that's why I feel like they need to do...
the adjustments in RMX are minor, but they're still there and they're still improvements.
I think that's why they need to do...
F-Zero?
F-Zero, yes.
Yeah, no shit. Like seriously, stop teasing me about it. You fucking made fun of the fact that I couldn't have F-Zero on the Wii U with Mario Kart 8 and putting those tracks in the fucking DLC.
See, and this will be...
that upset me.
We're going to get on with the show, but this would literally be a troll for E3. So every time they bring in a new thing, it's the cars from F-Zero. And it would just lead everybody else to be like, we're getting an F-Zero, we're getting an F-Zero, and they never show one. I think everybody would just say Nintendo would lose.
It needs to stop.
Everybody wants that series to come back. And they have the technology to do it, to make it look beautiful and make it play good. Like, it would sell so good here in America. Like, people want it.
I'm really hoping that Prime Force sets a precedent for reviving some of this stuff.
Yeah.
Because, as the Prime series went on, the sales dipped. As the F-Zero series went on, the sales dipped. Like, GX was the greatest game in that fucking series, but it probably sold... I'd have to check, but I get the gut feeling that it sold worse than all the other iterations. That being said, F-Zero X on the 64 was also fucking the hotness, too.
Yeah. Yes. We talked about F-Zero, so we're going to move on.
That battle loop was awesome.
So, Undertale is coming soon to Nintendo Switch. Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy is coming July 10th.
I'm going to stop you on Undertale for a minute. Because I'm totally going to own the fact that I have not played Undertale, and I have not kept up on it. I've really not looked into it. And I know it gets a ton of hype, and it's one of those things that I've kind of looked at and gone, maybe one day I will actually dig into this proper, and I just haven't brought myself to do it yet. This may finally be the impetus. It's one of those things that's just kind of been on the pending list for me to put some effort into. And so, again, this is one of those things where, the Switch has become my beautiful little indie machine. And Undertale, I have a feeling, is one that I will be much happier playing it there than I would just tied to my TV on, like, my Xbox.
Yeah, I didn't pick it up for PS4 or PC, but I'm going to pick it up for Switch. It feels just right being on that system for me.
Yeah, personally. I mean, like, half the games that are on my port dream list for the Switch are really just indies. I mean, there's a handful of big titles that I would love to see ported, but really, more than anything, I have a want for so many indies to come to Switch. I want fucking Castle Crashers. I want The Witness. I want Braid. And I know those are the ones that fall somewhere between, AAA and indie. Well, at this point, we may as well just call them AA. But it's still a thing that I want. And again, hell, even The Witness that I've sank hours upon hours and hours into, I would be more than happy to start all over again on my Switch. I mean, for God's sakes, they can make it work on an iPhone. I want it on my Switch.
That is true.
Super Hot would be another good one too.
Yeah, Super Hot and well, they put on Fortnite on iOS and Android, so yeah, I think that's a positivity coming to Switch.
I will throw out another one too that I think would be great because again, with some of the indie game, like the big narrative indie games, like Oxenfree and what is it, Night in the Woods, things like that hitting Switch and doing well. I would love to see Firewatch come.
I think that would be the first walking simulator. I think it would be a good test to see, but I think that other game that they're doing would be better. If they did do Firewatch.
Yeah, but the other one that they're doing is a ways out, and at this point, Firewatch would just be a port.
Well, yeah.
And there's no reason not to bring it out and then, get the Switch audience acclimated to their work and clamoring for the next one too.
I think Firewatch is just like, it's kind of in a way past its prime. I think too many people have played it and talked about it. So seeing it on Switch, I mean that would be good, but I would rather have their new game because their new game looks better and fantastic, and that looks more fitting for a Switch to come up with all the other systems, so everybody would be cut off. I think, you know what, release the new game and then go back and port Firewatch, or like do a secret announcement. Maybe if you buy this new game, you get Firewatch for free or half off.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I would love to have Firewatch on my Switch too, but again, some of the single and double A indies, are ones that I would love to see on Switch, that I've already sank hours upon hours into, but would happily do again on my Switch.
Mm-hmm.
So, Lord knows Castle Crashers would be a right fit. I will never understand why Castle Crashers hasn't made it to a Nintendo platform. That makes no fucking sense to me because no other platform truly pushes like couch multiplayer, which is what Castle Crashers is really about, like the Switch or like Nintendo does.
Behemoth would have to get in contact with another developer to port that.
Maybe, but still.
And if I could, once again, that would be another $40 game that people will be ready to
Crashers wouldn't be a $40 game
for cartridge.
At most $30.
I think they'll do 40.
Dude, it was $15 when it launched, and throw in maybe another like $5 worth of DLC. Pack it all together. That's $20 digital. Make it $30 physical.
Oh, they'll add more. I think 40,
I don't see them 40, adding more to Crashers than what's already there.
I think 40 because of them going with another developer to help port the game, and probably a publisher. I'm just saying, think outside the box. Business. I'm thinking business wise.
Yeah, I mean, even still, Lord, I'd pay $20 for it digital.
Yeah, and that I can understand.
It wouldn't stop me from wanting a hard copy because I've wanted a hard copy of Crashers for years and years. But all the same, let's truck this on before we derail any more than we already have, because Lord knows we have.
Okay, so Little Nightmares, which is a puzzle platform. This is going to be the complete edition. You'll be able to play as 6 and kids story. Also, if you guys own the Pac-Man amiibo, you'll be able to get the Pac-Man Max. Then this Max is only exclusive for Switch, and it's coming out May 18th. Moving on from there, South Park Fresher But Whole. It's coming out for Nintendo Switch. It will offer a season pass. The first 2 DLCs will be available after launch, and they will be available after April 24th. So if you guys decide to get Nintendo Labo for your kids, you guys could get something for the adult gamer on that Tuesday. So those are that's coming along. Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition is dropping May 18th. ARMS is getting a U.S. and Canada rank match tournament, and that's coming March 8th. And
Hell yes, do more for ARMS.
Yeah, that would be March 8th through the 18th. The top 8 players will go head to head on March 31st. It's going to be live streamed on Nintendo's headquarters with the top 8 players. And for those who still have not got a chance to try ARMS, still on the edge about it, on March 31st, there's going to be a 3-day event for the Global Test Punch. So you'll be able to download the game and give it a try. I played it at Larry's house. I truly enjoyed ARMS. I just need to go and buy that in Splatoon. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I need to rebuy both of those, actually.
But yeah.
They unfortunately got sold when I was in a little bit of a pinch, and so they were ones that I wasn't super actively playing, but I'm getting more and more of the itch to go back to them. So
yeah.
But
going to the last 2 games, Splatoon 2, version 3.0 is coming in late April. It's going to offer 100 pieces of gear, 3 new stages, Piranha Pit, Camp Triggerfish, and Wahoo World. They're also introducing Rank X, so if you meet special requirements, it will push you past S+. They're also adding an expansion, the Octo expansion for $19.99. This is a new single player mode. They're introducing Agent 8, where you'll be able to compete in 80 test environments, going it by Subway. This is going to be releasing this summer. You can now pre-order that on the eShop. If you do, you will receive Octo gear as a reward. And also, if you are able to play a lot of the Octo expansion pack, you'll be able to play Agent 8 in the in the multiplayer. There is additional information for those who are in Europe. There's going to be a Splatoon European Championship on March 31st. They're also having a virtual concert with Pearl and Maria with a live band. You can watch Nintendo's Direct from the UK, and they will provide you more information about that on how to live stream it, to watch it live.
Yeah. I really enjoyed the first Splatoon. The multiplayer was fun, but it honestly wasn't the big draw for me. I had way more fun with the single player campaign in the first Splatoon because it had more mechanics to it, honestly, than the multiplayer did. They did some stuff in the single player that just wasn't there in the multiplayer, just because there really wasn't a way in multiplayer to replicate it. And so I'm super fucking excited to see more single player stuff happening with Splatoon 2. You know, I'll happily drop an extra $20 to get more fucking cool single player stuff. You know, I think they have a really, really neat world here that has not a completely, but a fairly fresh canvas in terms of lore that they can build on and play around with and have a ton of fun with. And I think this is a great opportunity to do just that and take advantage of that. So
yeah. So last but not least, they showed the Inkling, Square Boy and Square Girl find each other, and you're just hearing the music. And literally, they tricked everybody because you would think, "Is this Splatoon 1? Are they bringing this to Switch?" And then
part of me, for just a second, thought we were going to see Splatoon 1 on 3DS.
That would have been interesting. That would have way been interesting. But
that could have been a good fit too, actually.
Yeah. The screen turns dark. Square Girl turns around. They do a zoom in, and if you focus on her eye, you see the Smash Brother logo. Yes, everybody.
The fiery, flaming Smash logo.
Yes, Super Smash Brothers is coming to Switch. A lot of people think it's a new game. A lot of people think it's support. We don't know at this time. Sakurai is working on it, so probably by E3 we'll find out more information about it.
I
Um,
just had something crop up in my notification that there might be some new details about that, and so by the time we get together Sunday,
mhm.
I may know a little bit more on that actually.
Well, before we go, just got three, actually four last ones, and they're not for the Nintendo Direct here in America. But Taiko no Tatsujin, it's that drum game by Bandai Namco. That's
Taiko
coming.
Drum Master is what we call it here in the States.
Yes, that's coming to Switch in Japan. You'll be able to use the Joy Cons to do the drum mechanics. It looks really nice, really cool. Saga Scarlet Grace by Square Enix. That's coming to Switch in Japan. Phantasy Star Online 2 Cloud
Motherfucker.
will have Link from Breath of the Wild. That's the look in the game. I don't know if it's his costume or if it's an actual character model that will be in the game. But that's coming April 4th of this year. So if you guys own a Nintendo Switch and a Japanese account, there are ways to be able to buy that game digitally and a way to earn the currency to buy it. I mean, buy the currency to buy it. Last but not least, Golf Story is also coming to Switch in Japan.
About bloody time. Actually, just on the Smash note for a second there is one or two things that indicate that it may not be a port. We might be getting new Smash, and again, take anything with a grain of salt. But there are a couple of indications that lean that way. The first being, and they're nitpicky details. You gotta look hard for them, but they're there when you look. I'm not making it up. I'm not going, this is me just seeing what I want to see. If you pay attention in that trailer, they do show like just a tidge of Link, and from what you can see, they're showing Breath of the Wild Link. The bow, the hair, the lack of hat, all that is there in the Smash snippet from the direct there. The other thing, again, that popped out to me upon closer inspection was, when you see the silhouette of all the characters there against the Smash logo, look at Samus carefully. Smash 4 was sporting the Other M design for Samus. That silhouette is not the Other M Samus.
Well, we shall see.
So, I mean, it's nothing concrete, but there are some indicators that it's either that it might not be a port or that it's more than just a port.
Well, I think we'll see more at E3. And
I guarantee you we will.
And
also, I just want to put out there, by the way, I know they only said 2018. I'm telling you right now, dude, September. You and I talked about this like a month and a half ago, and I just want to say for the record, I called it.
But
I told you September was going to be one of two things.
But didn't I say if they was going to do a reveal for Smash, they was going to show a new character that's going to lead into that game. They just not going to just announce, oh, here goes Smash Brothers for Switch. They're not going to do that. They're going to build that up, and they're going to really show off a new character before they show off that game.
Yeah, but you also said that neither Pokemon or Smash was happening this year for the online service launch.
Yeah, I, you know why I said that is because it wasn't. I don't think it was ready to go. And I know Sakurai said he wasn't working on another Smash game, so that's why I didn't think that it was coming out this year. Because Sakurai said, because remember he finished Smash and he said that he wasn't going to be returning to it he wanted to try something different.
Well, Lord knows he got harangued into Smash 4.
Yeah.
If you go back to that, Nintendo made the announcement and Sakurai's like, what?
Yeah, and
Like, was somebody gonna tell me?
yeah, and I think for Pokemon, for it to, they make too much money on the 3DS for Pokemon. Like Ultra Sun and Moon, I think already sold like 4 million in total, and still doing sales. I just think that when they finally brought like a main game, bringing it for Switch, it was a surprise that they did it at E3, that they announced it. I don't think that game is ready to be released this year.
No, it won't be this year.
Yeah, it was just that.
Now that we know for sure that Smash is coming this year, Pokemon is 100% off the damn table for this year.
I felt like if they was gonna do Smash, they was gonna save it for E3. But I guess showing it now, they really wanted to go out on a big bang. So,
Lord knows they did.
So, but yeah, everybody, that was the Nintendo Direct. Some extra stuff from the Nintendo Direct at UK and from Japan. You guys can check them out on their respective YouTube pages. They're all 30 minutes. They carry just different information, and depending on how, if you know Japanese, you can see all the stuff that was shown on there.
Yeah, I watched the UK one. Why the hell didn't they dub him in English in the UK one?
I don't know. I really
that
don't
was
know.
Fucking weird.
But probably they couldn't give him a British accent. That was something that.
But and that aside, I mean, for the most part, the content's all the same. For the most part. So. But yeah, that pretty much covers all the nuts and bolts.
Yeah.
So, other than that, we'll be back on Sunday, or well, for you guys Monday. And again, I apologize that this week's regular episode came out later than normal due to some travel and assorted confusion that by no means made it out on its regular schedule like I had hoped and or intended. But we should be pretty well back to normal here coming up on Monday. So
yeah. Well, with that, everybody, do you want to plug anything?
Nah, I'd try and keep the plugs out of this.
Okay. With that, everybody, we'll see you next time on World 1-1 Podcast.
Peace.